From the Greek Reporter, after almost a century, wolves return to Peloponnese, Greece. From prehistoric to present, my name is Ethan. This is Creature Guide Live Daily News. Remember to like, comment, and if you love talking about animals, share this show with everyone you know. You can catch our daily news live streams at 6 p.m. Central, Monday through Friday, on Rumble and YouTube. Now, let's get into the news of the day. Let's take a deeper dive into what's going on with these wolves over in Greece. So, in Greece, you have the subspecies of wolf known as the Balkan wolf. So, these individuals range somewhere between 85 to 110 pounds. After having vanished for almost a century from the Peloponnese in southern Greece, wolves have returned to the peninsula's Mount Taygetus, according to an announcement by Callisto, a Greek environmental organization. So, this is good to hear. The Peloponnese is actually a mountain range over in southwestern Greece, just west of the city of Athens. There are several mountain ranges throughout Greece. There's around four in the northern regions of the country, including the mountain range known as Olympus, which is in the northeastern range of Greece, which does host a few packs of wolves. The presence of wolves in the Peloponnese is scientifically proven for the first time in almost 100 years through the environmental research conducted by Callisto. In a statement, the organization said cameras that had been placed in strategic points in November 2024 had recorded the presence of 9 wolves, which include 4 adults and 5 young, in the area of Mount Taygetus, the mountain range near ancient Sparta. So this is good to hear with the 9 wolves, and in fact, it's a breeding population considering there are adults and pups that have been found here. Moreover, their presence was further confirmed by wolf tracks and feces, and by a photo of a dead wolf hit by a car in the same area, presented to Callisto by a hunting organization. Well, what's interesting is that hunters tend to get attacked a lot for hunting many animals, but they were in many cases they're friendly enough to show like, listen, we found this wolf and he got hit by a car. It's pretty unfortunate. um okay, so here we have a picture of a Balkan wolf. It was taken on April 12th, 2024. You can tell that he shed his fur. It's is definitely lost much of his winter coat. And here is an individual with its winter coat. It's got a rare black pigment. It's very rare for Balkan wolves to have. It's a bit more present over in more northern European populations, but definitely when you look into different populations of wolves over in Russia and North America. North America has the highest concentration of wolves with a black pigment due to certain genes that they carry. And in fact, Yellowstone National Park over in Wyoming contains some of the highest density of wolves with that black pigment. Wolves vanished from the Peloponnese in the late 1930s due to human intervention and activities. The confirmed return of the species in the area is considered a landmark for biodiversity in Greece because it means that nature is slowly recovering. Animals such as wolves and brown bears are recovering within Greece. There's now around somewhere over 1,000 wolves within the country, and this covers over 30 different packs, looking at the northern and central regions within Greece. And the confirmed return of the at the same time, it stresses the need for a balance between human activities like livestock farming and the protection of wildlife. When looking at the deer populations within Greece, they are having a massive problem. Red deer only reach about 800 for the total population within Greece. When looking at roe deer, their populations are quite scattered and they could be in the hundreds, if that. And fallow deer might number somewhere around 1,200 within 3 distinct regions within Greece. In comparison to different European countries, this is a very low number. Then different, like also when you look at even different states within America, You have it to where, like if you're looking at Florida, for example, you have over 1 million white-tailed deer in a densely populated area. And there's around somewhere between 16 to 20 million people within Florida. And um, see, though there have been reports about the presence of wolves in the Peloponnese since 2019, Callisto conducted its first study this year in the northern Peloponnese during the spring and summer. They used 14 automatic cameras for 2 months, operating 24 hours a day. However, at that time, no presence of wolves was recorded. They only used 14 cameras. We don't know exactly where they were placed, and it was also only around a 2 month period, said between spring and summer. So I'm guessing that this took place between the months of May and June. So here we have a Balkan wolf during the summer months. As you can see, he shed his coat. And now, despite Balkan wolves, even in southern Europe, being quite carnivorous, looking at studies between 1992 to 2010 has shown that wolves within Greece are primarily going after livestock. Now, they will also go after rodents on the side and even smaller reptiles and amphibians, but even those wild animals are only a fraction of their overall diet. Now, during the fall months, even depending on the month in summer, they will also go after different species of fruit, especially a variety of different berries within the region. Um, see. So, after the killing of 40 goats and a dog in the area in October 2024, Callisto scientific teams placed 4 automatic cameras around where the animals were killed and researched a total of 30 kilometers of forest roads in November, soon after the wolves were spotted. So they set up cameras for just 14 cameras along, if you're translating to miles, somewhere between 15 to 20 miles of forest road. You could have it where these packs might just happen to pass these cameras. We don't know how these cameras are situated, and they just simply miss them. They were also only out for 2 months, so who knows about the movements of these wolves. If we had radio tracking collars on these wolves, we'd have a much better understanding. But instead, they just set up, 14 cameras. It's um, it's not definite. Apart from Mount Taygetus, the environmental organization conducted further research in other parts of the Peloponnese, but there have been no indications that wolves have reappeared in other parts of the peninsula. If you look at the area east of the Peloponnese Mountains, wolves are unheard of. Callisto was founded in 2004 by a group of scientists dedicated to preserving and protecting Greek nature and wildlife. The organization's main goals are studying, protecting, and managing the populations and habitats of large carnivores, bears, and wolves, and other endangered species of wildlife. Um, when it comes to carnivores such as the Balkan lynx, they are struggling very much. There could be somewhere between 5 to 10 individuals, but it is possible that they might be coming from populations over in Albania, which is slightly larger than Greece. They also hope to improve the coexistence of man and wildlife. Well, this is due to the the deer species being quite rare in the region, and so the prey that wolves would normally hunt is practically missing. Now, when we're looking at the wild boar population within Greece, it has skyrocketed in recent years. Not too long ago, there were maybe 100,000 wild boar. Now there are over 400,000. The organization's scientists monitor the populations of these carnivores in Greece and helps to preserve their habitat by advocating against major human interventions, such as real estate developments on land inhabited by the animals. Um, Also, these wild boars are interbreeding with different breeds of domestic pigs, as well as the banning of hunting the wild boars has caused this skyrocketing of their population. Also, wild boars are very much into fighting. So when wolves have the choice of between a defenseless lamb or pig or even a smaller cow compared to a boar, well, of course they're going to take advantage of the livestock. According to Callisto, there are currently 700 wolves, though other estimates say about 1,000 across mainland Greece, north of the region of Boeotia. So there, so it is an estimate that there could be somewhere between 700, and I've seen things mentioning possibly slightly over 1,000 wolves within all of Greece. The wolf used to be found across the entire northern hemisphere, yet largely due to systematic hunting pushing it to the brink of extinction, it has lost most of its historical territory. Wolves have actually rebounded throughout much of their former range and throughout different parts of Russia, Kazakhstan, let's see who else, Georgia, Armenia, and then once you venture over to Europe, different parts of Finland, Scandinavia, and then as you venture down to different parts of Europe, they are increasing in population within every country. Well, okay, leave out the British Isles. Um, in Greece, it survives in small packs, isolated from each other, and its presence is stronger close to areas with livestock farming or in big mountainous ranges where human presence is very limited. This is true. This is due to a bit of the semi-arid landscape in some instances and the lack of deer available. Wolf packs within Greece don't tend to reach much more than 7 individuals, ranges between 4 to 7 wolf members of a pack. The depletion of a wolf's natural prey, including deer, roe deer, and wild boar, no, they do not have a lack of wild boar within Greece, forces the wild animal to move closer to where farmers breed sheep, cows, and goats, and this exacerbates the clash between wolves and humans. There are different countries with populations of herbivores that have massively depleted, mainly in different parts of the Middle East when it comes to different subspecies of wolves, possibly certain regions of Central Asia. Not so much for Europe, though. Well, okay, if you're talking about areas such as Southeastern Europe, which is where Greece, Albania, Macedonia, Bulgaria are located, they just have a depletion of the deer for some reason and a massive wild boar problem because they're just overabundant within Greece. And when you have this occur, animals like the wolves, even the bears, aren't having a massive impact on them, they can do a lot of harm to the soil and cause erosion in different forests. The fauna in Greece is incredibly diverse. The mountainous regions of the country, especially the forests, play host to bears, wildcats, brown squirrels, jackals, wolves, foxes, deer, and lynxes. A rare species of wild goat known as cry inhabits the mountainous regions of Crete. Okay, well, it's just mentioning the rest of the animals, but looking at what has been discovered with the wolves over in the southern region of the Patagonis Mountains. This is good to hear, especially with Mount Tegadus. And it's good to hear that there is a breeding population. It is unfortunate that they are feeding on the livestock. And
The links.
oh, well, it's also a bit unfortunate that the lynx are incredibly low within the country. They're probably focusing on different species of rodents. They might be going after any piglets that they can from the wild boar. It might be very similar with the wolves occasionally when they're going after wild boar instead of putting up a fight with a full-grown adult. Um, let's see. Bears will occasionally go after full-grown wild boars. It can just be a hassle for them, but usually a wild boar can't really do much damage to a healthy brown bear. Um, let me know what your thoughts are on the wolves within Mount Tygadus, Greece, and let me even know what your favorite type of wolf is or species of caiman. The canid, not caiman. That's a crocodilian. In the comments. And from prehistoric to present, my name is Ethan. This is Creature Guide Live Daily News. Remember to like, comment, and if you love talking about animals, share this show with everyone you know. You can catch our daily news live streams at 6 p.m. Central, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. on Rumble and YouTube. I mean, 6 p.m. I think I might have said that right beforehand. And thank you for joining Creature Guy Live, because nothing is better than all animals all the time.